How you doing, everybody? It's Dana, YouTube Silver shareholder, and I wanted to talk to you about why I'm a stacker and a little bit about my reasoning and rationale for getting started with silver. And basically, a few years ago, I was listening to some different people on YouTube and watching different videos. Some of them were from you'd call them silver pumpers or whatever, and the To The Moon guys with the big names, and also some of the alternative media or conspiracy radio people or whatever. And some of them mentioned silver, and then I was reading some of the comments and everything, and looking at different forums. And I heard some things that were pretty interesting about silver and got me thinking. One of them was about the dollar and how the dollar used to be, a fixed amount of silver and a fixed ratio to gold. And I thought that was pretty interesting, and it got me thinking about, how the prices of things have changed, and some things, where the product hasn't changed at all, but the price has. So say with a gallon of gas that used to cost $1, not too long ago, that's within my time, and now it costs $4. It's the same gallon of gas. So what's really changed? I mean, the value of gas is still, the value or the worth of the fuel is the same, but the dollar value has gone up. So, and that goes across the boards with everything. So that really got me thinking about, that it's the money that's actually losing value, leading to the products costing more. And, for me, I need to save, and I'm on a really, limited income. And, I don't have the highest paying job, and, I'm not getting any younger. So when I started thinking about these things and started looking into silver more as, a hard asset and a commodity and a store of wealth and a store of value, it really turned me on to silver. And then I went and I got a silver dollar, was my first purchase, and just to hold it in your hand and think, that's what $1 is, and that's what $1 was. And no wonder why you could buy so much with $1. I mean, it's obvious that it has real value. So I started looking at silver as a form of savings. And just thinking with things, with goals, it's like if someone like me wants to get a car or wants to get a house, you could look at the, MSRP of a car. Will take a Camaro or something, and you can look at when it first came out, the MSRP of a Camaro, and every year, I'm sure there's some exceptions, but basically every year the cost of the Camaro has gone up. So for a guy that was able to put aside, say, $10 a week or something towards buying a Camaro, we'll say in 1969, if it cost, $5,000 or $6,000, so over the years, by the time he saved up that $5,000 or $6,000, saving $10 a week, that car is no longer a $6,000 car. So he saved what the cost was when he started saving, but now it won't buy that car. And I started thinking that, there's a possibility silver will keep pace with that inflation. And if you're putting aside a little bit, each week into silver, there's a good chance that, whatever your goal is, by the time you've saved enough, it'll still be attainable, because the price of silver was likely to go up along with other things, and might even outpace other things. And so that's it basically. If I wanted to get a house and I'm only able to save a couple bucks here and there, I think if I save it in silver, I've got a better chance of attaining my goal than if I was saving dollars, because by the time I had some dollars saved, the chances are that price of the home would have gone higher by then. So that was it for me. And I did get into these To The Moon guys, and was listening to Max Kaiser and some of these other people, and I learned a lot. So they've got some really good information, and they had some good calls on it. I mean, when I got in, it was pretty cheap, and it went up to just about $50 an ounce, and So the price really did go up, but at the time I was convinced it was just going to go straight up and skyrocket. And, so I've learned a lot since then, but I still think it's a solid investment and a solid way of keeping pace with inflation. And when I look at the, supply versus demand, it's like every year the demand and the supply balance out, but in order for that to balance out, they need a lot of scrap recovery, like a lot of reclaimed silver or whatever in order to meet the demand. The mining supply doesn't cover the silver demand. So in the future, I think that the cost is, the price is just going to go up as the cost of mining goes up, and even the cost of recovering silver is going to go up with energy costs getting higher and things like that. So I think there's a potential for a lot of gains, and right now most people really aren't aware of silver. Nobody's too interested in it. It's kind of a bit fringe. So if it ever does become mainstream, I saw this movie Loopers, and it was interesting. They were showing like silver in the future, but that was a major release movie. So things like that, it has the chance to go mainstream. I mean, all it would take was some movie like that to really catch on, and next thing you know, silver's the cool thing. If everybody wants some, that could really shoot the prices up. So, best case scenario, it could make some major gains in silver. And worst case scenario, I think it's a pretty good way of saving your money. And that's pretty much where I'm at. So here's just a little silver bullet I picked up. Nice silver bar, Sunshine Mint, silver bullet there. And then yesterday, for my first time, I tried to do some gold prospecting, and I came up with this black sand here, and I'm pretty sure there is, some really small pieces of gold in there, like, little flakes or, fine gold or whatever they call it. And I'm not sure how to get that out. When I use a magnet on it, all of this stuff seems to just pick right up with the magnet. So if there's any gold in there, it doesn't seem to separate. I mean, there's no like nuggets or anything. It's just, maybe little flakes. But yeah, I don't know if there's some way to separate that, or if it would be worth sending to like a refiner or anything. But I had a lot of fun either way. I learned, how to set up the machine and use it. When I'd made the video, I was using too large of a mesh. So I was getting some like good sized rocks in there, hoping to get some big nuggets or something. And when I realized there really weren't any giant nuggets, sitting right there, I started using the smaller mesh, and I had a lot more luck with my sluice where it wasn't getting all clogged up. So from now on, I think I'm going to go with the smaller mesh size and maybe try a different spot. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I got, a good amount of black sand. I kind of learned how to pan a little bit. So, cleaning out the sluice, I figured out how to work the pan after a while a little faster, and I think more efficiently than how I began. But yeah, and as far as the silver goes, I mean, I'm trying to stack, but I do look at it as a savings. So if I need money for something, I'm willing to sell it. And after seeing what happened with the last run up, where it went up to 50 and now it's back down under 20, and certain pieces really gain value, some things become real popular and collectible. So I'm willing to flip a little silver, when I think the timing's right. It's, for a while I was going to hold on to it, when it was 50, because 50's not even enough, even though I'd bought it at like 18. I was waiting for it to go to 100 or something. And so now, I mean, if it goes way up, I might sell a little bit. If it goes way down, I'm going to buy a little bit more. And if something arises where I really need the money for something, or where I could invest it in something that's going to do me better, or like that I need, I'm willing to sell a little bit. So I just look at it like a savings account. But for me, it's a lot easier to save. And it's a lot more fun, too. I mean, not only are you saving and getting bullion and precious metal, but some of these pieces are like real art. There's a lot of story behind a lot of this stuff, a lot of interesting history. And, just it's really like a great hobby, you know, as well as a way of saving. So it's like a free hobby too. I mean, I'm saving, but then I get all the benefits of like an enjoyable hobby. So it's just win-win for me. And you know, I mean, I'd like to just hold it forever. I mean, if I can hold it until I die and pass it on, then that's even better. But in the meantime, if I can use it to like achieve some goals, or, you know, sell when it's really spiked up in order to buy it when it's come down a little bit, or, you know, buy some collectible pieces when they're first released and then sell them higher and get more bullion and stuff. I mean, that's all part of the fun and part of the benefit. So yeah, just a quick video on, you know, my thoughts on why I'm stacking silver, and a little update on what I found there with the first prospecting trip. And I'll make another video soon. Thanks for watching.